You can literally hear a pin drop in the Scotiabank Arena right now. Look at the eyes of Bron Breakker. That isn't just anger, that is a predatory focus, a hunger that threatens to tear the very canvas of Monday Night Raw apart. We are staring into the face of a man who doesn't just want to win matches, he wants to end careers. And standing across from him? A general manager who knows he is one wrong word away from being broken in half. The air is so thick with tension you could cut it with a knife, and everyone in Toronto knows that violence isn't just a possibility tonight, it is a promise hanging over our heads like a guillotine blade. This is the moment where authority clashes with anarchy, and I promise you, by the end of this segment, the entire landscape of the Royal Rumble is going to be rewritten in blood and ink. Welcome back to SLAMZONE, the heartbeat of the wrestling community, where we don't just watch the show, we live it, we breathe it, and we break it down with the passion that this business deserves. Before we witness history unfold in that ring, I need to talk to you, the family that makes this channel what it is. If you have ever felt that rush of adrenaline when the glass shatters, or the heartbreak of a near fall, you belong here with us. We are building something special, a community that respects the past and embraces the future. So please, take a second to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment below. Tell me, do you think Adam Pearce survives this night? Your support means the world to me, and it helps us keep bringing you the most emotional, in-depth coverage on YouTube. Now, let's go ringside. The atmosphere in Toronto is absolutely electric, but it's a nervous energy. You can feel it radiating through the screen. Adam Pearce stands in the center of the ring, and for the first time in a long time, the general manager looks vulnerable. He's a man who has held the weight of the WWE on his shoulders, dealing with egos, injuries, and corporate pressure, but tonight, he's dealing with a force of nature. Bron Breakker is standing just a few feet away, and the physical difference is terrifying. Breakker is vibrating with intensity, his muscles coiled, looking like a pit bull straining against a chain that is about to snap. Paul Heyman is there, the wise man, the architect behind the chaos, wearing that signature look of smug confidence, believing he holds all the cards. Pearce raises the microphone, and his hand is shaking just slightly, but enough for us to see. He starts to speak, and his voice is tight. "Gentlemen, I am not out here to make excuses." That opening line hits the crowd like a wave. The fans in Toronto are already buzzing, a mix of anticipation and hostility. Pearce continues, "I am not sorry for wearing my heart on my sleeve." You have to admire the courage it takes to say that to a man like Breakker. Pearce is trying to maintain his authority, trying to stand tall as the executive, but he's admitting to a loss of control. He acknowledges that things got way out of hand. That is the understatement of the year. We all remember the chaos, the brawls, the security guards tossed aside like ragdolls. Then comes the admission, the moment that makes everyone hold their breath. Pearce looks Breakker in the eye, a dangerous game, and says, "I'm man enough, Bron Breakker, to admit to you in front of the world that things get out of hand because I put my hands on you first." The crowd erupts. It's a mixture of shock and vindication. Hearing an authority figure admit fault is rare. Hearing them admit it to a monster like Breakker is almost a surrender. The boos start to rain down as Pearce apologizes. And for that, I apologize. The fans want blood, not apologies. They want to see Breakker unleashed. But Pearce is playing the political game, trying to de-escalate a nuclear situation with words. "And I pledge to all of you that will not happen again." The crowd boos louder. They don't believe him, or maybe they don't want peace. They want war. But watch Paul Heyman. Watch the wise man. He's nodding. He thinks he's won. He thinks he has backed the general manager into a corner. The arrogance radiating off Heyman is palpable. He believes he has checkmated the system. Breakker hasn't moved. He hasn't blinked. He is staring through Pearce, likely imagining a spear that cuts the GM in half. The tension is unbearable. Every second that ticks by feels like we are inching closer to an explosion. Pearce shifts his weight. You can see the gears turning in his head. He's not just apologizing, he's maneuvering. "Well, you know," as a matter of fact, he pauses. The crowd hangs on his every syllable. "And as a matter of fact, you would like me to lift Bron Breakker's suspension and put him into the Royal Rumble." The pop from the crowd is deafening. This is what they wanted. This is the news that shakes the foundation of the road to WrestleMania. Breakker in the Rumble changes everything. He isn't just a competitor, he is a wrecking ball. The mere presence of Bron Breakker in that match alters the odds for every single superstar in the locker room. Both things are done. Pearce delivers the line with a finality that echoes through the arena. "I already filed the paperwork. It is official. You are in the Royal Rumble. Welcome back." The sheer relief in the building is tangible, but it's mixed with fear. The beast is back in the cage, and the cage is the Royal Rumble match. Breakker finally cracks a reaction, a slight shift in posture. He's got what he wanted. The suspension is lifted. The path to the main event of WrestleMania is open. But then, the dynamic shifts again. Pearce asks, "What else do you need?" It's a rhetorical question, but Breakker steps forward, aggressive, interrupting the GM. Pearce snaps back, "I need you to stop interrupting me in the middle of my sentence." For a split second, everyone freezes. Did Adam Pearce just yell at Bron Breakker? Did he just poke the bear immediately after apologizing? The bravery or stupidity is staggering. You can feel the energy in the arena spike. Is Breakker going to attack him right now? Is the truce over before it began? Pearce quickly pivots, regaining his composure. But, okay, you drive a hard bargain. Good deal. He gestures to Heyman. Shake his hand. Shake his hand. Shake his hand. He's urging Breakker to show some sportsmanship to seal the deal. It's a desperate attempt to normalize the situation. He's an honorable man. Pearce turns his attention to Heyman now, and this is where the storytelling gets masterful. You know what, Mr. Heyman, you are such a tremendous negotiator. I have to say it. I've never been more impressed. Wait a minute. Listen to the tone. There is something underneath Pearce's voice. It's too complimentary. It's too smooth. He's buttering Heyman up. Matter of fact, you're so good, let me take it a step further. The hairs on the back of your neck should be standing up right now. When a general manager decides to be generous, it's usually a trap. Heyman's smile is wide, he's basking in the praise, thinking he has extracted even more concessions from the boss. But we know better. In the WWE, when something sounds too good to be true, it's usually a nightmare in disguise. You're in the Rumble. Pearce points to someone else in the group. You're in the Rumble. He points to another. And you're in the Rumble. Congratulations. The Vision is in the 2026 Royal Rumble. The crowd explodes again, but look at Heyman's face. The smile falters. The Vision, the collective, the unit, the family, they are all in. On the surface, it sounds like a reward. More chances to win. More tickets to WrestleMania. But think about it. The Royal Rumble is every man for himself. By putting the entire faction in the match, Pearce hasn't just given them an opportunity, he has sown the seeds of destruction. He has pitted brother against brother, ally against ally. He has guaranteed that at some point, they will have to look each other in the eye and decide what matters more, loyalty or glory. It is a brilliant, tactical strike by Adam Pearce. He used Heyman's own negotiation against him. You want it in? You're all in. Good luck watching your back when the knife comes from your own family. The psychological warfare here is off the charts. This is where legends are made, and this is where factions die. The realization is slowly washing over the ring. Pearce didn't just survive this encounter, he flipped the script entirely. And he's not done. He turns his eyes to Austin Theory, the young prodigy, the man with the $1 million smile and the brass knuckles in his pocket. And while I'm at it, Theory, we just saw it. If it weren't for brass knuckles, you might have been victorious last week. Pearce is dismantling them one by one. He calls out the cheating, the shortcuts. So, I feel like, you tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like you need a chance at redemption. The word redemption hangs in the air like a carrot on a stick. But in Adam Pearce's world, redemption is just another word for punishment. You need a chance at redemption against the Hall of Famer. The crowd knows what's coming. They can sense the legendary presence before the name is even spoken. Tonight, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Austin Theory one-on-one with Rey Mysterio. The roof blows off the Scotiabank Arena. What a moment. Rey Mysterio, the greatest lookator of all time, the ultimate underdog, going one-on-one with the future of the business. And just like that, the segment that started with an apology ends with a blockbuster match. Pearce hasn't just cleared the air, he has booked the house. He threw Bron Breakker into the Rumble, he threw the entire Vision into the chaos of the 30-man match, and he threw Austin Theory into the deep end with a living legend. It is a masterclass in management. He gave them exactly what they asked for, and in doing so, he gave them their worst nightmares. Hey everyone, just a quick friendly reminder, we are witnessing absolute greatness here tonight. If you are loving this breakdown and the intensity of this story, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. We are just getting started, and the implications of what just happened are massive. Now, let's look at the immediate aftermath. Michael Cole on commentary sums it up perfectly. Not quite sure how to take all that. The commentary team is stunned. Pearce was supposed to come out here and issue a mea culpa. Apologize for conduct unbecoming an executive. That was the script. That was the expectation. But Pearce went off script in the most professional way possible. He weaponized his authority. Cole adds, "This seems vindictive to me." And he's right. It is vindictive. It's petty, it's calculated, and it is beautiful. Look at Austin Theory. The color has drained from his face. He thought he was safe. He thought he was part of a power block that could bully the GM. Now, he has to lace up his boots and stand across the ring from Rey Mysterio, a man who has forgotten more about wrestling than Theory has ever learned. The psychological toll is immediate. Theory isn't preparing for a match, he's panic-stricken. And Breakker? He's in the Rumble, yes, but now he knows the GM isn't afraid to play games. The dynamic has shifted from physical intimidation to mental chess. The camera pans out, showing the sheer scale of the arena. The energy is vibrant, pulsing with the excitement of the upcoming match. But let's go back to the vision being in the Rumble. This is the hidden gem of the segment. Think about the strategy. If you are Paul Heyman, how do you manage that? Do you tell your guys to team up? We've seen that fail 1,000 times. Do you tell them to wait? The Rumble is chaos. Adam Pearce has introduced a variable that Heyman cannot control: human ambition. Every man in that ring wants to main event WrestleMania. When the bell rings, and it's just two members of the Vision staring at each other, the negotiation won't matter. The paperwork won't matter. Only survival matters. You can see Heyman trying to process this. He's usually 10 steps ahead, but tonight, Adam Pearce was 11 steps ahead. The apology was a Trojan horse. It disarmed them, made them feel powerful, made them lower their guard, and then boom, he dropped the hammer. It's a reminder that while the superstars run the ring, the general manager runs the show. As Theory prepares for his match, the reality of the situation sets in. This isn't just a match, it's a test. A test set by a GM who is tired of being pushed around. If Theory loses, his stock plummets. If he wins, he beats a legend, but he knows the GM is watching his every move, waiting for the brass knuckles, waiting for the cheat. Pearce has forced Theory to fight an honest fight, or at least, a harder one. The crowd is still buzzing from the announcement. Rey Mysterio is trending worldwide instantly. The nostalgia, the excitement, the speed, it's the perfect antidote to the heavy, brooding tension of the Breaker confrontation. This is how you book a wrestling show. You take the viewer on a roller coaster. You start with the threat of violence, you move to political intrigue, and you deliver high-octane action. The pacing of this entire segment was perfection. The slow build of the apology, the sudden spike of the welcome back, the twist of the Vision in the Rumble, and the climax of the match announcement. It kept us guessing. We thought Pearce was weak. We thought he was broken. But he stood there, in his suit, without throwing a single punch, and he dealt more damage to his enemies than a steel chair ever could. And think about Bron Breakker. He's the wild card. He's in the Rumble. Who stops him? If the Vision implodes because of Pearce's decision, Breakker might just run through the rubble and claim the throne. But now, he has a target on his back, not just from the locker room, but from the management. Pearce has made it clear, you can be in the match, but I control the environment. The look on Heyman's face as the segment closes says it all. It's a look of respect mixed with frustration. He knows he's been played. The wise man got outwised. And for us, the fans, that is the sweetest victory of all. It adds layers to the drama. It makes the Royal Rumble not just a match, but a narrative explosion waiting to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we watch. This is why we tune in every single week. Moments like this, where a few words can change the destiny of champions. The 2026 Royal Rumble has just become the most combustible event in history, and it is all thanks to a cold night in Toronto and a general manager who decided to bite back. As we wrap up this breakdown, I want you to sit with that feeling, the anticipation, the excitement, the unknown. Who do you think wins the Rumble now? Will the Vision stick together, or will they tear each other apart? Can Austin Theory survive Rey Mysterio tonight? The questions are endless, and the answers are going to be thrilling. Thank you so much for watching SLAMZONE. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mind of the general manager and the chaos of the WWE, please, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. We are going to be covering every second of the road to WrestleMania, and you do not want to miss a single moment. This is where the story begins. The paperwork is filed. The matches are made. The apologies are done. Now, let the bodies hit the floor. I'll see you in the next video, family. Stay loud, stay passionate, and keep watching the ring.